So we had two trades on for the day, one being gold, one being oil. Let's go through gold. Gold, Monday, day one, two attempts to take out the highs of Friday, yet unable to sustain a breakout. Therefore, we've got this scenario where breaking into the value area high convincingly in London with a pull back up towards that high. It's an area, not a level, an area. So towards that level, area, sorry, where we've got a late session New York 4-hour high meeting the early Asian lows, and then the late Asia highs, and essentially just trapped up top. So the rebound up to there and subsequent sell-off was the catalyst for a entry, which looked like a perfectly good entry on that 5-minute chart there, for a blow-off. Now, the entry was actually round about here and then adding to the position. So it was a decent sized position that was put on, averaging at 3R, and then we just stalled. So unfortunately, it didn't give us anything. We came out break even over here. I held on to that for longer than I would have liked. It was threatening with a pullback towards the stop, or into the stop, but I had my stop above the 8-hour low, the London low, and it was resisting, and I just monitored it to see whether it would go potentially, and I just thought, well, I don't want to sit here all day doing this, so I just came out of the trade at break even, and then it's just coiled around that 8-hour low, and has been able to sustain a move up. So we've got this ascending triangle continuation to the downside, breakout, classical charting pattern at the lows of London for a subsequent sell-off below the VWAP from the US Open, and we've got that VWAP from the London, the London session from the prior day. So it was a bearish environment below the 20 EMA, breaking down, but we're not in it. But this has potential for a continuation to the downside, right down to the value area low, which is our target for the day. Looks as though it might want to get there at some point over the course of the next day. Range expansion 61.8 aligns with it, so wouldn't be surprised at all if we get there in Asia. So that might lead to me taking a trade in Asia. I'm not sure. I'll check it out a bit later on in the day. Generally speaking, what I look for in Asia is for the price to come out of 9 p.m. New York, a Tokyo Open, 9 a.m. in the morning. Where's the Tokyo? Okay, I won't forget that. 9 a.m. New York. So we'll have the box Tokyo, and a breakdown of that box could lead to the extension, as we talked about, into that value area, low area, at least. And then we looked at oil. Oil, unfortunately, wasn't something I was holding on to. I got caught out with weak hands down here. And again, just didn't want to hold on to the trade for the whole day. Prospects of a move up. It was a very slow-paced market, so I managed to pull just less than 2R really, because the target was actually, I made a mistake in not having the target set up correctly, which was at the New York lows. So we got there, but because I had my target for some reason just below them, down here somewhere, God knows why, because I was rushing to get in, I believe it was, and I didn't do the stop correctly. There was my 2R. Any case, it was a nice trade. It was a nice setup and outcome, but I didn't execute it correctly, all in all. But it was the same setup as gold, essentially. Okay, so that was my trading day today. The indices, silver was a nice one as well, but we didn't take part of that. We're in gold. US 30 didn't give us what we were looking for at the time. It was all a bit sideways. US 500, by the time it actually started to give us what we wanted, we were already done for the day, really. US 100 and 500 we talked about earlier on being green on the watch list, but we didn't take part in them. Turned out to be outside days. The US 500, which one? I can't remember which one I was favouring, but I think it was US 100 I was looking at more cleanly. Okay, so that's the day